assistant on this training. You can find my name and email in the attendee list under staff. We're going to take a moment and go over some guidelines and support for the webinar. The mute button has been turned on for all attendees. You should be able to hear us, but we will not be able to hear you. If you do have any questions during this interactive webinar, you can post them in the question box. To navigate the webinar controls for the question box, you can select the down arrow next to the question tab to expand the box, and a viewing area should appear. You can enter your name now. This will help us to confirm that you are here and help you become familiar with how to ask questions once the webinar starts. Hello, Angela. Go down here. I see a Carrie, a Kristen. Welcome, everyone. All right. So at this time, I'd like to now start our education collaboration event and welcome Pam Ellis from Iowa AEYC Teach program.
Hello, I'm Pam Ellis, and I'm a Teach counselor with Iowa AEYC, and I'm going to share tonight how we might be able to help you pay for your education using the Teach and our wages programs. And in a bit, Julie Renfro is going to join me and share some of her experiences, as she is both a participant of both the Teach and wages programs. She's also a student in the BA and the EC program at Northwestern. So Julie is one of my scholarship participants, and I work with most of the students who attend the four-year schools on the scholarship program. So if we go to the next slide. So the Teach Early Childhood Iowa Scholarship Program has been around since the late 1980s. It started in Iowa in 2003, and the acronym stands for Teacher Education and Compensation Helps. Next slide. So this slide shows you the eligibility for the Bachelor Scholarship Program. We can help directors or teachers, teacher aides, child development home providers. So basically, you need to be in a regulated preschool, childcare center, or home setting for at least 30 hours a week. If you're in a part-day program, it needs to be full-time, all of the hours that the preschool offers programming, and at least 20 hours. You do need to have already an Associate of Arts degree or at least 60 college credits completed. If you don't have those credits yet, we could help you with an associate scholarship at a community college to get those. You do need to work with children birth to age 5 in your current program for at least 6 months for the Bachelor Scholarship and 3 months if you're on an associate scholarship. You will need the support of your employer if applicable. So it would be a three-way partnership between Teach, yourself, and your employer. If you're employed by a center or preschool, they would need to pay a portion of your tuition and books. They would also need to give you paid time off or release time, and they may be required to give you a raise or a bonus. Okay, next slide. So Teach can help with the CDA credential, the associate degree, bachelor's degree, licensure renewal. Those are some of the options. And there are 5 components of every Teach scholarship. So first of all, it is a comprehensive scholarship that involves a contract and some financial support. Our contracts go for 12 months typically, and they can be renewed as many times as you need to get to the education level that you want. So Teach will help pay for tuition, a travel internet stipend each semester that you're enrolled. For a portion of your books, you will get paid time off, and that's reimbursed to the program. You can take the college credits at any Iowa-based college that offers the early childhood degree or credential. You do get compensated at the end of each contract with either a raise or a bonus, and you are required to stay employed at the program that you start with during the year of a contract and then 1 year after your last contract ends. You can keep renewing contracts, like I mentioned, as many times as you need to. I actually have a couple participants who are on their 12th contract. So you can take your time, take anywhere between 9 and 18 credits in a 12-month period. So each scholarship participant will have a T.E.A.C.H counselor that can help support and navigate the college process with them and explain any paperwork that needs to be done. I am, like I mentioned, the T.E.A.C.H counselor that works with the bachelor scholarship participants, and we do have 3 other scholarship counselors. On the bachelor's scholarship, we typically cover about $5,000 per year of college expenses. And we are taking applications for summer. So April 30th is the deadline to get your application in for the summer scholarship to start. We'll go on to the next slide. So the Wages program is, it really complements the T.E.A.C.H scholarship program. It's been in Iowa since 2014. And basically it awards your education in early childhood with free money. So you could get 2 stipends a year that are based on how many early childhood education credits you've taken and the degrees that you've earned. So the yearly stipends could be between $500 and $3,500. So an individual can participate in both the T.E.A.C.H scholarship and the Wages program simultaneously. On the next slide, it shows that the Wages counties that are currently participating are highlighted in green. So there are currently 36 counties that are eligible for the scholarship. Our hope is to make that statewide, but right now these are the programs that are eligible. On the next slide, the eligibility for the Wages scholarship or program varies by your county and the funding source. You do need to meet some sort of quality requirements, such as the QRS, NAEYC, or NAFCC accreditation. You do need to offer full-day care. You must accept childcare assistance. And currently, directors, statewide voluntary preschool programs, shared vision programs, and Head Start programs are not eligible for this program. But you can contact us with any questions about eligibility. The Iowa AEYC website has lots more details about both the T.E.A.C.H scholarship and the Wages program. And you can also get to our applications from our website. And we'll give you more information later too. Next, I'd like to introduce Julie Renfro. She is currently on Teaching Wages. So I'll let Julie take over.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to share my experience and feelings with all of you. If you have any questions, just ask. But I started daycare 22 years ago, but there was always something that I wanted to finish, and that was a degree, a bachelor's degree. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I've gone to 6 to 7 colleges, and I never finished a bachelor's degree. So when I heard about this program, the T.E.A.C.H program, I thought, well, I'll look into it, but I was scared of a few things. One is that I didn't, we have 3 teenagers living in our house and a foreign exchange student most years. And I just didn't want to sacrifice missing any events or activities that they were doing at school. And so when I heard about this program and that I could do this online, I thought, well, I'll try it out. It's 8-week terms. What do I have to lose? I'll try one term at a time. I was a little nervous about my brain being rusty after 20 some years. And I was also worried about failure and not finishing my degree. So one thing that was really challenging to me is coming back to learning the APA format, but little help with Microsoft Office. I caught on pretty quickly, and I'm proud to say I've gotten an A in every class so far. But the rewards have been huge with this. I have a huge feeling of accomplishment. It's so great looking at my grades every day to see how they're coming along. It's just neat to see that I'm doing well. One thing is, I said that we have 3 teenagers living in our house, but I feel like I'm modeling good behavior to them. I'm never too old to go back to school and to keep learning. And they're also taking online classes, so we celebrate together and we work on classes together. It's just a good feeling. But it's also given me a lot with my professional too, because it's also given me ideas and knowledge to apply to my daycare. I thought I knew everything. I've been doing it for 20 years, but I didn't. I've learned a lot in taking my classes. And I've met a lot of great classmates that we can bounce ideas off, and I can try them here in my daycare. So, and then the Iowa Wages Program is another wonderful program. When I first heard about it, I thought, well, there's got to be a catch. There's something that we have to do, or they're going to be telling me to do. But it really doesn't demand anything from us. You know, they call me every 6 months, and I give them a little information about my daycare. They have encouraged me to continue with my childhood classes so that my stipend levels can increase. It's just been a great thing. The one thing I love about it is it gives us the feeling of being appreciated. You know, we kind of do the same job every day out, in and out. And this program noticed us, and they give us a stipend, and it's awesome to feel appreciated. But both programs have given me encouragement and the funds to fulfill all my biggest dreams of finishing my bachelor's degree finally. And they even pay me for it, which just seems crazy. But my advice is do it, don't wait. You know, the accomplishment and the self-confidence is just worth it. It's wonderful. And it's easier than you think. If I can do it, anybody can do it, I feel. Pam and, you know, Heidi at Northwestern and you know, Iowa Wages have all been wonderful cheerleaders and encouragement for me. I don't think I could do it without them. So anyway, that's about all I have to say. If you have any questions, ask.
Thanks, Julie. If you go to the next slide, I'll just share a little bit more about Julie's participation in both T.E.A.C.H and Wages. So she started T.E.A.C.H in the spring of 2016. She's currently starting her 4th contract now, so 4 years. To date, T.E.A.C.H has covered over $15,000 of her college expenses on the scholarship. And she started the Wages program in June of 2017. She started at a level 5, which was a temporary level, and now she's moved up to a level 7, which is a permanent level. So to date, she's received $4,850 in wages stipends. And on the next slide, just wanted to point out that T.E.A.C.H currently has over 40 scholarship participants attending Northwestern for the BA in early childhood. And 11 of those participants are also on the wages program, receiving stipend checks every 6 months. So the next slide just kind of gives some contact information for T.E.A.C.H and Wages and where to find our applications. Again, you can leave any questions anytime throughout this evening, and I can try to answer those for you. And next, I would like to introduce Jackie with Iowa Childcare Resource and Referral, and she is up next.
Hi, this is Jackie Navrkal. I am the QRS specialist with Iowa Childcare Resource and Referral for Region 1, so the northwest corner of the state. We actually have, our state is divided into 5 regions, and each region does have a QRS specialist. And so I'm going to just kind of go through, within the rating system, there is a professional development section where different education, training, and that sort of thing can bring points to the overall application, which can then increase your level. So I'm going to go through that for centers and homes and then just review the different bonus amounts. So for licensed centers, preschools, and school-based programs, they can either have 15 hours of annual approved training beyond regulatory requirements, and that's worth 2 points. If they have 30 hours of annual approved training beyond regulatory requirements, and then at least 5 years of experience working in a child care facility or program, that is worth 4 points. 9 college credit hours in education specific to the age group for whom care is provided is worth 5 points. An Iowa Board of Educational Examiners Parent Educator Certificate at the level 2. So there are, I think there's like a level 1 and then the level 2. And I believe the level 2 just requires that they take some extra classes that are in early childhood. So they would need to have that level 2 parent educator and then also 2 years experience in early childhood under the supervision of a licensed early childhood teacher, and that is worth 6 points. And you can go to the next slide. And then CDA is worth 6 points, or a Child Development Associate credential. An apprenticeship certificate in a field of early childhood is 7 points. A 1-year diploma in early childhood education is 8 points. An associate's degree in education that's specific to the age group for whom care is provided is 10 points. And then a bachelor's degree in education specific to the age for whom they're providing care is 20 points. And a master's degree in education specific to the age group for whom they provide care is 25 points. And you can go to the next slide. And then, so those are the different education requirements that if you meet, you can get the points for. And then if the center director, or if it's like a school-based program, if the principal of the school has the pre-kindergarten principal, that's one of these options. But if the center director has their NAC credential or the National Administrator credential, they can get an additional 5 points. A valid AIM for Excellence credential would also be an additional 5 points. The pre-K principal license, and then if the staff has completed the Head Start Management Acceleration Program or MAP. So they can pick one of those. You can't get 5 points for each of them, but if the center director has one of them, or if the principal has a pre-K principal license, then you can get those extra 5 points for centers, preschools, and school-based programs. And you can go to the next slide. And then this is professional development looking at for a child development home, or sometimes referred to as a CDH. So this would be someone providing childcare out of their home, so their own home operated business. If they have at least 2 years of childcare experience and then 10 hours of additional approved training per year beyond their regulatory requirements, that's worth 2 points. If they have at least 5 years of childcare experience and 20 hours additional approved training per year beyond regulatory requirements, that's 4 points. If they've completed modules 1 and 2 of the Positive Behavioral Intervention and Supports Training, also known as PBIS, a minimum of 12 hours, is 2 points. And then completing modules 1 through 4 of the Program for Infant and Toddler Care, or PITC is also what it's referenced as, is 3 points. And you can go to the next slide. So basically a home provider, they can pick any of those that I just listed off. They could have any of those or an assortment of them. And then these are like more related to like education as far as like college and that sort of thing. So they would only be able to choose one of these. If they had 9 college credit hours in education specific to the age that they care for, that's 5 points. If they have their Child Development Associate credential or CDA, that would get 6 points. An apprenticeship certificate is 7 points. A 1-year diploma in early childhood education is 8 points. And then if they have an associate's degree in the education that's specific to the age that they care for, that's 10 points. A bachelor's degree in education specific to who they care for is 20 points. And then a master's degree in education specific to the age that they care for is 25 points. And you can go to the next slide. So that basically covers the realm of professional development for both center, school-based, and preschools, and then homes. And then these are the different bonus amounts. So basically at a level 1 for QRS, if you are a center or a school-based program or a preschool, you just have to be licensed through DHS or operating in an accredited school. And if you're a home for level 1, you just have to be registered with the state of Iowa. So there is not a bonus for level 1 with the current system. So bonuses start at level 2, and basically it's divvied out depending on how many children you serve. So at a level 2, if you're serving up to 25 children, your bonus is $400. If you're serving 26 to 50 children, it's $800. If you're serving 51 to 100 children, it's $1,200. And then if you are serving more than 100 children, the bonus is $1,600 at level 2. And then moving down to level 3, up to 25 children is a $600 bonus. 26 to 50 children is $1,200 bonus. 51 to 100 children is $1,800. And then if you're serving more than 100 children, you're looking at $2,400 for the bonus. At a level 4, serving up to 25 children is $800. Serving 26 to 50 children is $1,600. Serving 51 to 100 children is $2,400. And then if you're serving more than 100 children, the bonus amount is $3,200. And then at level 5, if you are serving up to 25 children, the bonus amount is $1,000. If you are serving 26 to 50 children, the bonus amount is $2,000. If you are serving 51 to 100 children, the bonus is $3,000. And then if you're serving more than 100 children, the bonus amount is $4,000. So really, home providers would be looking at that first column because they're not going to be serving more than 25 children. And then your licensed centers and school-based programs are going to be those higher amounts. And then with QRS, the certification or QRS certification is good for 2 years, and then you can renew. And if you renew at the same level, that's totally fine. But then your bonus is only half unless you're renewing at a 5. If you renew at a 5, then you always get the full bonus amount. So if anybody has questions, they can, again, definitely type those on the side and we can answer those. But that's, oh, and then here's contact information. So my email is there at the top, or the phone number to contact. And then as I mentioned earlier, there are 5 regions of childcare resource and referral, and each region does have a designated QRS specialist. So there is contact information for each of our regions. And so now I'd like to introduce Heidi and Melanie from Northwestern College.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heidi, and I'm the director of the BA in Early Childhood Online Degree Completion Program at Northwestern. And we are so excited to have all of you tuning in tonight and participating in this collaboration. We are very, very thankful for the T.E.A.C.H scholarship as well as the wages program, which has made this possible for our students.
Heidi, I
Yes.
am going to let you know that I'm hearing an echo on the back side. One of those
Okay.
computers will have to be muted. Sorry.
You muted? Okay, is that better?
Sounds much better. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to first, before we begin, just say how cool it was to listen to Julie tell her story. I was really trying not to be teary-eyed because this has been such a great new program for Northwestern, and our goal really, we are an unapologetically Christian college, and our goal really has been to walk alongside our students and to encourage them and empower them to do what God has called them to do, and that they might feel respected and appreciated. So to hear her say those 2 words was awesome. That is just something that has been a goal for our program. So thank you, Julie, for sharing your story. And I know you are just doing great. So there's a lot of other students like you, but I know you are just doing your very best. So we're thankful for our students, and it was great to hear you say that. So if we want to go on to the next slide. Okay, you can see pictures of us. Sometimes, we went ahead one. There we go. Sometimes when you're in an online program, it may seem that you may feel like I won't be connected with the people that I'm learning from, but we work really hard at Northwestern to make sure that you do feel a connection and that you are part of our program and part of we call it the Raider Nation. It's the Northwestern Red Raiders, and we want you to be part of Raider Nation. And so it's our commitment to you that we're going to walk beside you just every step of the way. And if that means that you need to contact us by texting or by email or by phone, we are certainly available to you. I would almost say 24/7, but I'm going to step back from saying that because we do all have our own families and have some time at home too. But when it's an online program, the convenience of being able to maybe send a question at 10 o'clock at night when you have time to sit down and work, and then me being able to answer it at maybe 5 or 6 o'clock the next morning, it's just really great and really convenient for us. So we will collaborate with your T.E.A.C.H counselor. I'm in contact quite often with Pam to check up on students or to make sure that students are getting exactly what they need. And Melanie is, I think, going to talk here next. I can't remember the order of our slides, but she's going to talk to you pretty soon about, she will be the first person you will talk to when you contact Northwestern, and will help answer any questions that you have. So if we want to move to the next slide, we'll kind of get into the program a little bit.
Heidi, we do have a question.
Great.
Jill writes in that as of 2020, the ECE credits change from 4 credit classes to 3 credit classes at Northwestern, and wondering how that's going to affect how students fill in those extra credits, I guess.
Yes, that's a great question. The reason we are switching our courses from 4 credits to 3 is so that we can help students have a continuous program of study. When we had 4 credit courses, the T.E.A.C.H limit of credits is 18 credits per year. So when they were taking 4 credit classes, they were only able to take about 4 classes per year, and then they would have to stop out for a semester. By changing them to 3 credits, we're able to have 6 continuous terms, which fills our fall, spring, and summer semesters. So students don't have to stop out for a term. If you've already started the program, with that change happening, changing from 4 credits to 3 credits, and that's just on our early childhood core classes, you may end up not having to take as many credits because you need a total of 124 credits to graduate. So you may not have to take any more classes. If you do end up with still needing more credits, we have elective courses that we are developing right now to help meet that need as well. And they will be elective courses that will be of interest to you and very specific to early childhood.
Great, thank you, Heidi.
Yes. So let's talk about what this program can do for you. And Bobby's gonna keep the words coming across. It allows you to complete your bachelor's degree. And I know when we were listening to Julie, that was one thing she said was kind of on her bucket list, and she wanted to do that. We had a student who's actually 75 years old who wrote into us and said, it's something on my bucket list. I'm really interested in finishing this bachelor's degree. So for us, that's a real honor to be able to walk along students and help you cross that off your list of goals. It will qualify you for early childhood roles in a variety of settings. It does not lead to teacher licensure. I need to make that clear because we've had students asking. It does not lead to teacher licensure. You will not have a teaching license, but you will have a BA degree. And as you saw with the QRS requirements, a teaching certificate is not always necessary or required, but a BA degree can earn you more points on that QRS system. So the program also allows you to build on what you already know. You are already experts in your field, but as Julie said too, I thought I knew everything, and as I took my courses, there's a lot more I'm learning, a lot more I'm able to apply. So the last thing here on the slide says it will increase your opportunities for employment, possibly job changes and promotion. And that's something we want to do, is be able to empower our students to maybe move on to the next step, or maybe move up in a position that they're already in. Let's go to the next slide. So how will I improve as an early childhood professional? By taking these courses, you will become better equipped to address children's needs. You will collaborate with other early childhood professionals, parents, and peers. And I feel like as I'm reading this, it's an echo of what Julie said she has already experienced, so that's great. It'll allow you to take classes that are relevant to your current placement. I know myself, I don't appreciate going to professional development opportunities and sitting through them thinking, this does not apply to me. How am I ever going to use this? So when you're taking these classes from Northwestern, they really are pertinent to what you are doing in your programs every day. They allow you to apply new strategies immediately in your teaching environment. Several of the courses have assignments where you need to maybe make an observation or you have a new strategy to implement, and you can do that right away in whatever position you're in. You will also gain knowledge in child development, as well as learn techniques and strategies for assessing children's learning. And that's a big thing, to be able to assess what a child knows, what they still need, and be able to share that with their parents, with other professionals as they move on to the next grade level. You'll practice strategies for dealing with challenging behaviors. That's something that is increasingly becoming more prevalent, especially with talking about trauma and children who have been through different forms of trauma. The challenging behaviors are coming out, and it's difficult to deal with. So we want to give you practical strategies that can be used for that. It will also allow you to create meaningful learning experiences for the children who are in your care. Let's move to the next slide. What will this degree qualify me for? There are a variety of positions that a BA degree will qualify you for. In Head Start programs, they have a requirement now that their lead teachers, I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that their lead teachers need to work towards a BA degree. Does anybody want to comment on that? Maybe not. I'll keep moving. If somebody has information about that and wants to share that, please do. The statewide voluntary preschool programs, childcare centers, child development home providers, infant, toddler, and preschool classrooms, before and after school early childhood programs. And I think one thing for us to remember is that early childhood really covers a lot more than what the public thinks it does. Often when I say early childhood, I'll get a response, oh, preschool. Well, it's not just preschool, it's birth all the way through age 8, which can be up to 3rd grade. It will also qualify you for some CCR&R program positions, as well as regional and state education agencies. Let's go to the next slide. So how am I going to get my coursework done while I'm working full-time? I can speak from experience, and Melanie as well, that we are just like you. We earned our degrees online while being full-time moms and full-time workers, and so it is possible, and we want to help you with that. So earning your degree doesn't have to cost you time away from your other responsibilities. You can log into our classes and complete your work whenever it is convenient for you. We do not have specific times when everybody has to be online, or like a webinar like this. Our classes don't follow a specific set time when you have to be online. We have assignments that are due on certain days. Your first discussion posts, for example, need to be finished by Wednesday evening, and then assignments are typically due by midnight on Sunday. And then there may be other requirements in there, such as responding to something that a peer has posted. So you take one 8-week course at a time. You can certainly take more than that, but that is what we recommend. And you're able to balance your work, school, and your life schedule by doing that 8-week course. Okay, so this is a list right now of the current early childhood core courses. As we change to from 4 credits to 3 credits, we will be adding a couple more core courses. And I don't have that right here in front of me, so I can't tell you exactly what they are. One of them is a early childhood professional portfolio, which would be completed after you have completed all of the core courses. And then you're also responsible right now to meet the Northwestern core, which has specific requirements such as a religion course you would need to take, a physical wellness class, a math course, a science course, and most of those things you may have already taken when you got your AA degree, so those credits can transfer. And Melanie will talk about that in a little bit. You see up in the corner it says Early EDU Alliance. This is another organization that we partner with. They are from Washington State University, and they have written all of our courses for us and have given us the rights to use their materials. And then we add our own maybe assignments or discussions along with it to make them more distinctly Northwestern and to add the Christian component as well. Okay, so what supplies are you going to need if you would decide to start the online program? You'll need a computer or a laptop with internet access and a word processing program such as Microsoft Word. There are no textbooks required for our ECE courses. Some of the gen ed courses, if you're taking a religion course or a math course or a science course, and some of the electives may require a textbook, but our early childhood core courses do not require any textbooks, which is a huge bonus for all of our students. For some of the assignments, you may need a recording device. We may ask you to record yourself interacting with children within your own setting. And for that, you can use an iPad, a smartphone, or a video camera. And in those situations, of course, we would always want to ask you to get permission as well from the child's parents for them to be videotaped. Okay, so what are the program requirements? Incoming students must have an AA or AS degree or higher. They must have a cumulative GPA of 2.5, and they need to take 32 credits currently. Right now it's 32 credits. I believe it's going to change to 33 credits once we switch from 4 to 3. So that would be starting this fall. And meet the requirements of the Northwestern undergraduate core, which is those courses I was talking about, math, science, religion. And most of those can be transferred if you've already taken them, or you can take them online from Northwestern. So I'm going to pass the microphone off now to Melanie so that she can talk to you about the cost of the program and some things that she deals with students.
Hi, it's nice to be with everybody this evening, and I just want to share a little bit about myself. I too am an associate degree transfer and then continued on to my bachelor's degree. So I completely understand the position of the students coming into our program that are taking everything online. It's a huge passion for myself, and my experience working towards my degree, I had some incredible enrollment counselors that I really felt predicted whether I stopped out or continued and persevered through difficult times. And as a parent, working, taking care of kids, being responsible, it was never an option to just be able to stop out when things got difficult. And I say that because the enrollment counselors that I had the experience with were just so gracious and always the cheerleader. They were that silent cheerleader in the background whenever you needed that. And I just want to be that person for you as well. To start out with, we will start with the cost of the program. Currently, through the summer term, the cost will be $325 per credit hour. And then the fall term, starting August 20th, it will transition to $335 per credit hour. You will be able to have the opportunity to fill out financial aid and to also fill out information for the T.E.A.C.H grant. And those are things that I will be your first person that you'd be in contact with when you request information or submit an application. And we will have most of our contact through email, but I'm also available via telephone. If you have any questions regarding your financial aid, I'm there to be your resource to connect you with our financial aid officers and then to get you through our financial aid request form and to help you with any outside information that you will need. The technology fee is $75 per semester, so that'd be 16 weeks or every 2 weeks for your classes. And I think we're ready for the next slide. So how do I begin? You will begin with reaching out to us. We share this, our email address, the online at nwciowa.edu, and that will come into me, and then I will reach out to you. I will provide information regarding our program, how to submit your transcripts, and where you can apply for financial aid, how you can apply for your T.E.A.C.H. And once we receive your transcripts, I will have a course evaluation done for you. And once that evaluation is done, we will have a program of study prepared. And typically that will come from Heidi. She will make sure that you have all the classes set up accordingly so you'll know what classes were transferred in, how many credits you'll still need to get to obtain your degree, and then when those courses are offered and what the time frame will be for you to complete your program. And we're ready for the next slide. Your admissions requirement will be that you have completed your AA or AS degree or higher with a minimum GPA of 2.25. And we do have conditional acceptances just depending on the situation, and that's something that if you fall into that area, that we'd be certainly happy to discuss with you. And we can start your program of study out with an unofficial transcript, and then as you begin your program, we would ask that you send your official transcripts, have that sent to Northwestern College, and those would be needed prior to starting of the program. Next slide. How will I know? Oh, I think Heidi, you'll take over on this part. Okay, and I will turn this over to Heidi.
Okay, so how will I know which classes to take and when? After you're accepted into the program, I will develop a program of study for you. It will be your personalized class schedule. It is flexible and it's designed to meet your needs and your time frame. So if you need to, let's say you email me and you say, you know what, I'm getting married this summer, or I'm having a baby this fall and I'd really like to take off a term, we are more than willing to work with you to figure out how we can still finish your coursework, but work around your time frame. The next step then, after you look through your program of study, is to contact either myself or Melanie, and we will help you get registered for classes and you can begin your journey. So our question for you after listening to some of this is online learning right for you? It is for many people. For some people, it may not be. So it really is an individual choice. And so we would just love to help you check into it, set your goals, and work towards those. Anytime really, if you need help, we are available through email, through phone call, and our response time is very quick. We try to get back to you as quickly as we can. Our classes will begin very soon for our summer session. So if you are interested, we would love to help you get started with that.
We do have a question for Iowa CCR&R. They are wondering if there's information on where they can find the number of points that correlate to each QRS level. Jackie, do you have any help with that?
Yeah, so like, are they wondering like to be a level 2, you have to have this many points, to be a level 3, you have to have this many points? Is that what they're wondering?
That would be my guesstimate, yes.
Okay, so yeah, for like a center-based or a program in a school or a preschool, basically at level 1 and level 2, there aren't any points. There's just, you have to be licensed if you're a center, preschool, school-based, and you have to be registered if you're a home provider. And then at level 2, there's just some different self-assessments and professional development forms that you have to fill out, and you have to participate in the child adult or the CACFP, so the food program. So then the points start basically at level 3. And so for your centers, school-based, and preschools, a level 3, the minimum is 17 points with the maximum being 26. And level 4, the minimum is they have to have at least 27 points. And then the max is 33. And then to qualify for the level 5, they have to have a minimum of 34 points. And then they also have to have Iowa State assessors come in and do an ERS assessment, and they have to get an average of a 5 on that. And that is for centers, preschools, and school-based. And then for home providers or child development home, a level 3, the point range is 14 to 18. Level 4 is 19 to 24. And then level 5 is a minimum of 25 points, and then having Iowa State come in and do a Fecker's assessment, which is the ERS family home childcare scale, and then they would have to get an average of a 5 on that as well.
Great, thank you, Jackie.
Yes.
Kristen, if you do have additional questions on that, you can sure give Iowa CCR&R QRS specialist an email at the email listed on the screen. Heidi, we have another question for you. Is there a minimum or maximum amount of credits that you're able to take per semester at Northwestern?
Hey, good question. You need 124 credits to graduate. So it really is up to you the number of credits that you want to take. If you're using only the T.E.A.C.H scholarship, then you will be limited to 18 credits per year. So you'll have to work that out with me and with Pam or whoever your T.E.A.C.H scholarship consultant is. And we can help you work out what's going to work best for you. Like I said before, if you are busier in the fall or you're busier in the spring, you maybe want to say, I need to take less credits now and I can take more in the summer. And that's totally fine. We want to do whatever works for you.
Great, thank you, Heidi. I don't see any more questions coming in. If you do have a question, we're going to stay on the webinar for just a few more minutes. Please feel free to send in your questions now. While we're waiting for everyone to consider if they have a question they'd like to ask, if you are gun shy about giving a question during the webinar, please feel free to reach out to the emails listed for T.E.A.C.H, CCR&R, and Northwestern College. Those are all listed on your screen, and they will be available to help you at any time. If you're more comfortable calling, then of course their phone numbers are listed there also. And I do not see any more questions coming in, so I'd just like to thank everybody for attending the webinar this evening and for all of our presenters, and have a wonderful evening.